Hey, how's it going everybody? KG Chaos here, and in this video we're going to talk about No Man's Sky and what is the very best starship we as players can obtain within the No Man's Sky universe. Now first, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Yes, this is my very first face reveal on my channel. Thought about doing it recently and got all the proper equipment and said why not, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a shot. Anyways guys, if you liked this video, thought it was helpful, or anything in between, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it if you do. And also, if you'd like to support me further, I'm an up-and-coming author of the sci-fi fantasy genre, focusing heavily on sci-fi, fantasy, and apocalyptic stories. Now if you guys are avid readers, or just thought about getting into reading recently, I've put a link down in the description below so you can find my Amazon author bookshelf. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, in No Man's Sky, there is numerous amount of starships to choose from as you go about your journeying and adventuring in the No Man's Sky universe. But the ones you see behind me here are the most widely used and the most widely popular in the game. Now, they all have their different little bonuses and stat bonuses and different types of things that they do better than each other, but I made a video about that a week ago. I'll put a link in the description below and at the end of the video or inside the video so you guys can go and check that out if you're more curious about what each starship gives you in your playthrough. But a few of these are said to be the best ones in the game, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys in this video which one is the best, because there is a better ship in the game compared to all of the rest of them. And the ships that are most widely used are called the Living Ship, the Royal Exotic, the Sentinel Interceptor, the Solar Ship, and the Squid Exotic. Now, these two exotics are exactly the same, it's really just the look of them that is different, but I'll get more into that later. And one of the ships that people believe is one of the best in the game is going to be the exotics, whether it be the Royal or the Squid Exotics, just because they have a more balanced kind of stat bonus for all of the different categories such as damage potential, shield strength, hyperdrive range, and maneuverability. And the other one being the Living Ship, which has a massive damage potential. But the only downside of this is that it's such a frustrating ship to upgrade and even obtain, because just getting all the technology for it takes you days, if not weeks, sometimes months to do, because it is such a time-consuming ship overall. Honestly, I would get you another ship to use until you get this one completed if that's what you want, because this one is just a frustrating task altogether. But let's go ahead and talk about the stat bonuses and the things that actually matter for each one of your ships. Now, I want to tell you guys something, is don't worry about damage potential and also your shield strength. Those don't really matter. I'll get more into shield strength later, but definitely damage potential, it doesn't really matter in the long run, just because you only need a few different weaponry for it to actually do a lot of damage, even if the bonus isn't very high, with one being the photon cannon and the other the infra knife accelerator. Now, if you're just starting the game, the photon cannon is such a great use right to begin with, but I highly recommend trying to seek out all of the different technologies for the infra knife and make sure you put them in the supercharged slot so you get the most damage possible. As you see here, I almost have 90,000 DPS, and that is without making all the power diverted to the actual weaponry, so it does a massive amount of damage. Even with the photon cannons, they only do about 10,000 damage, so I highly recommend getting the infra knife as soon as possible. This just makes your game and combat just a lot easier, and just makes it to where you can just really take anything out that attacks you, whether it be sentinels for you carrying illegal contraband, or pirates that are just trying to take all of your valuable loot. And make sure, like I said, put them inside of your supercharged slots. Sometimes they will be highly separated. It's good to find a ship that actually has these superchargers close together so you can connect them all, because it would even do even more damage. But you have to work with what you got with whatever ship that you're using and put them in the supercharged slots if you're wanting to make your weaponry the best that it can be. Now, the only two stats you kind of want to look at here and kind of go for when finding a new ship is your hyperdrive range and your maneuverability, because nothing else really matters other than these two. I'm going to show you why here later on in the video of all of it connecting together. But also, whenever you guys are getting these technologies, try to get high class X ones first. Get your S class variant of technology for each one of these, just so you can have the best that you can right now. But always try to get the best X that you can, which you find in the pirate systems by buying it from the illegal merchant or the contraband merchant that's there. So you can guys get even better than the S. It just takes a while. It's really time consuming because sometimes it gives you way worse, even worse than a C. But always try to get an X. And also, like I said, you just want to mainly focus on finding a good hyperdrive and maneuverability Starship, no matter what you choose, because it's just going to make your life a lot easier, and they're really the only two stats, like I said, that matter. Now, after I installed just the basic type of nanite bot technology for the hyperdrive, I had about 700 warp distance, but when I installed the 3 extra for this hyperdrive, it jumped it up to almost 2,000, and really once you get to 1,000 to 1,500, that's all you're really going to want for hyperdrive range anyways, because if you're discovering planets and systems, that's all you really need, because you're kind of just jumping really close just in general, so it's not that big of a deal if you don't get really any higher than what it shows here, or over 1,000, because you're not going to be using that much anyways. Now, just a little tip, if you guys want just a little bit of a boost to your hyperdrive range, which won't be much granted, what you guys want to do is install the Atlas figurine into your technology slots, be near your actual hyperdrive technology, and it will boost it just a little bit. Like I said, not very much, maybe by like 50 or so, so it isn't going to be such a huge jump as you see here, but it is kind of a little thing to give you just a little bit more boost to power for your warp. Next, let's go ahead and install some maneuverability, which would be the Pulse engine. Again, using the same thing, use S-Class variants of these until you can get really good X-Class variants, and eventually you'll get your maneuverability way up, and make sure you position them, kind of tinker with it and see what is best, but if you move them in different positions, it will eventually give you a bigger boost. As you see here that I'm doing, I'm kind of moving them around, and it's going to rise a few hundred from what it was, so now I'm getting about 1350 in maneuverability, which is really good and really noticeable compared to any lower than where it was. So make sure you guys kind of move your stuff around until you get the biggest boost that you can, because it is actually really helpful in the long run. Now, if you want to have a little bit more of a boost to your maneuverability, all you guys want to do is have all of the Starship trails and the figurines. I will put a picture, because I don't have it really set up right here, at the end of this part, so you guys can screenshot it and see how you need to set it up. But yes, some of these trails that are actually in expeditions and were rewards, some of them you can't get again if you have not done them, so you're going to miss out on a little bit of your maneuverability, but it is what it is. I don't know why they added it like that. I wish all the trails or stuff like that that made your ship better in that way was actually for everyone to buy, even if it was just the Quicksilver that you have to get it with. But that's just how it is, and like I said, I'll put it at the end of this so you can screenshot it and set that up accordingly. And now let's go ahead and get into the Starship shields that I said I'd get into here at the beginning of the video. Now, I said don't worry about these, and there's a reason why. What you guys want to do is, once you have your S-Class and then X-Class, which you can get up to a 38% shield strength for each one of those, once you get that all set up, I recommend just building you guys a sodium farm, which uses the mineral processors. I'll put a link. I made a video about how to make these a while back. I'll put a link and also put that in the video so you can find that. But yeah, just build one of these and keep a stack or two inside of your actual Starship, and you can use that to refuel your actual shields whenever it gets low, and you're never going to have to really worry about your shield again, because you can just refill that on the fly as you're fighting in space or whatever you're getting shot by, to go ahead and refill that so your ship doesn't get destroyed. It's just a super easy method, and there's really no worries about trying to worry about making your shield strength better, because you can instantly just refill it at will pretty quickly during a firefight. And now you guys are probably waiting for, well, KG Chaos, what is the best Starship in the game? And I have to tell you, there isn't one. It's really just your preference on what you want to use and what you like. All you got to do is worry about those 2 stats that I told you about. Everything in this video, it's all you have to worry about when you are looking for Starships. Now, there is one better Starship in the game, which is technically a Starship, and that is, of course, the Freighter. Yes, now I know you're probably kind of mad at me, but the Starship basically, or the Freighter basically is a Starship, you just can't fly it. That's the only difference between the two, but it has everything that an actual Starship has, and I'm going to get more into that and exactly why this is the best. Now, if you guys are flying around on it, it is the most decked out in weaponry in the game, and just protects from anything. It just has the most damage potential than any ship that is in this game right now. It also has the highest hyperdrive range in the game, with sometimes you getting over 6,000 hyperdrive range. Just a lot of RNG is put into that. It also has unparalleled shield strength, that literally shield can't be broken. And also you can make a base and have loads of other things inside of your freighter that is all just in one place, such as the Galactic Terminal, the frigate expeditions, the planetary probes that actually let you scan planets without even leaving the freighter. It has the drop pod for the exocrafts that you don't even have to build the geobays anymore. It's just all around just the best thing in the game when it comes to starships. Now, yes, it is not a starship you fly around, but it has everything but the flying, and even more than basic starships do that you just fly around. So it is the best thing or best ship in the game that you can use. And all the other starships in the game that you fly around, like I said, there's no better one than the other. It just takes a lot of RNG to find what you like the most. And those two stats, hyperdrive and maneuverability, and the two weaponry, the photon cannon and the infraknife accelerator, that's all you really need to worry about when looking for a starship. Just pick what you like and find the one that fits you the most, and that'll be the best one for you. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Also, down in the comment section below, what is your favorite starship in the game? And also, I'll leave a link down in the description for my Discord and also for my Amazon author bookshelf. Anyways guys, I'll see you tomorrow.